Let's go fishing. I'm on a mission. It's so pretty, I'd sure hate to waste this chance. We'll find a shady little spot, not too cool, not too high. Perfect for a little fishing and romance. Oh yes. Nothing so inviting, nothing quite as exciting as a little fishing when they're biting. Let's go fishing. Let's go fishing. I got a
Okay. All right. Morning, sports fans. I'm going to do a little speck fishing. I got a bucket of minis and got my lights, and it's 6 o'clock, so I got about an hour. It seems like they've been biting early, so we'll go out and see. I'll set up and see if I can find something. Well, I pushed off here this morning, and I thought, well, you know, it's foggy, but I'll be all right. I got all kind of lights and stuff. Got up there and got everything situated, and high hopes on catching some specks this morning, and thought, well, you know what, I'll just head up the river. I'll just go up the river. I went out a Scott driver there, and I'll be fine. I'll go out here where it makes a turn to the right, and then I'll just keep my light on the bank and just ease up the river there a little bit. You know, and I got out there a little bit, and I thought, boy, you couldn't see the end of that John boat. I was thinking, okay, but I'm all right. I'll be all right. But all of a sudden, I lost sight of the bank, the light. I don't know what happened. I was looking at something and lost sight of the bank. And so I thought, well, you know, I know which way it is. It's over to the right. So I started out through there and thought, well, I'm good. I'll be all right. And I thought, where is that pontoon boat was down by the bridge? Why is it passing me? Maybe I said, I don't remember that pontoon boat being there. So I speeded it up a little bit. I thought, well, I'm gonna ease back over to the bank here on the right side up there where the pump house is. Well, lo and behold, pump house not the other way. Turned into the tree. Oh, my, Robin, put your life jacket on. But, yeah, I mean, you can laugh about it, but, on the high river there, and the barges were on the river, but, you know, there was a boat coming out, going here, there, and I'm thinking, well, you know, it shut the motor down. I ran into the bank, and I ran into the muck. Luckily, there wasn't no rocks there. It didn't tear up my motor, but okay, let's restart this. Let's rethink this. So I looked over and I think, well, shoot, I'm on the other side of the river. So I seen the lights over there for the ramp here. I'm gonna try this again. I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna go towards the lights. I'm gonna go over there and start up that right side of the river, and I'll be fine. No, I wasn't. I mean, I went out again. I went circles. I just went circles out there. It was so foggy. I thought I'd hold that steering wheel still. Nah, didn't. Anyway, I finally found the bank over there, and I put the lights on over there, and I started up the river, and I was pretty good shape. Well, I wasn't in good shape, but I was. It's just, I can't see real good in the fog. You know what I'm saying? I had a light on, and the boat was kind of blinding me a little bit. But fog, it's hard to see the fog, even with 4 lights. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. But I want to get up there, I thought, man, I got to get up there. I got to get up there before it gets daylight, because that's where they've been catching them. They've been catching them on at dark. So I thought, well, I'll have an hour of dark. Well, by the time I was going out there going around circles and running into the trees and everything, by the time I got up there, it was almost daylight. So, yeah, you got to be careful out there when it's foggy like that. I thought I knew what I was doing, but no, I didn't. And I shouldn't have been going fast either. I mean, I speeded the motor up, thought I'll be fine. Yeah, I'll be fine, all right. Knucklehead. But I finally got my bearings a little bit and got up there. Well, I was going to shut off there right up above the pump house. Thought, well, I'll just shut off there and fish. But I wanted to get up there where there's a little cut goes back in. Last year I caught some fish here. So finally I got there and I sat up there and pulled in there and got organized. But yeah, it was a interesting morning here running up the river. I mean, but then I got up there and it was foggier than the dickens. But there was guys going up the river in bass boats 55, 60 miles an hour. Just think if I'd have been out there when they was going up there 55, 60 mile an hour, I wouldn't have known what hit me. But then you can see it's starting to break day a little bit now, and I can see what's going on, and starting to get things organized, get the poles out and get ready. I thought, because I want to hurry them up, because I know the bite, I'm telling you, after a half hour, it's kind of like the bass out in the semi-grass in the summertime. After a half hour, 45 minutes, the crappie bite's done. So that's the reason I tried to get up there, because, you won't have a crappie bite for not very long. And that's the way it was this morning. I mean, it was just, after it got day, the sun come up a little bit, I couldn't get a bite. I mean, I think I caught 6, but I caught them all right before daylight. It's just, I never seen anything like this. And a lot of other guys I'm talking to is having struggling catching fish too, specs. And it's hard to. I've got crappie trips coming up. You know what? And it's hard to take a crappie fishing, catch 3 crappie. I mean, come on now, you got to be kidding me, Yeah. So I'm gonna kind of lay back a little bit until this crappie thing. Everybody says, well, they're gonna come in. They're gonna come in. This next full moon, they're gonna come in. I've heard that since October. So we'll see what happens, They're going to come in. Hold on, everybody. They're going to come in. But, we've been spoiled. For the last 4 or 5 years, I mean, the crappie, it wasn't nothing to catch a mess of crappie. You go out and get your mess of crappie about any time. Not this year. It's been tough. It really is. The guys jigging. One day they'll go out and get a dozen or a limit. Next day they'll go out and catch 2. And do the same thing, go to the same places. And I don't know if it's something to do with the water going down, fluctuating the water other than, and I'm not sure, I'm really not sure. But, I'm getting things organized here, getting ready to, hopefully pull them in. I'm thinking, I'll get me a half dozen, 7 or 8 or something like that, and I'll go home and clean them. I'll clean the mess of them, because I'm getting low. We've been eating the ones we've had, so I was going to clean the mess of them and get Debbie to clean them or cook them and fry them up, and then we'd have them for I have them for dinner, then I'll have them for breakfast, and I'll have a sandwich for next day for lunch. I didn't have enough of them to even do that caught today. I just caught 3. Now I could have snuck them other 3 in. You know what I'm saying? Put them in my shirt and hit them. But you never know, Mr. Green Jeans. They'll walk and go in there and starts flopping, then he'll nail you. You know what I'm saying? He'll nail you. If you got them in your shirt, head or something, Mr. Green Jeans will nail you. But no, I ended up throwing them all back. I don't know. Tomorrow's another day, but it's a challenge. I mean, it really is. I mean, like yesterday, I went bass fishing out there, and I went out there and I mean, about the third cast, man, I caught a nice one. I thought, oh man, I got me a pattern going here. I'm going to get him. That was it. that was it. I mean, I thought, I'll keep flipping this Senko in that Kissimmee grass, and I'll get me a mess of fish and be in the running. Nah, that didn't happen. Same thing this morning. Got up there and put the poles out and got situated and caught a few. I thought, well, you know what? I'm going to get me a mess of specks here this morning. Now, that's a good deal. That was it. That was the end of it. Just as soon as that sun card coming up light, that was the end of it. But then I talked to some old boys there was below me, and they said day before yesterday, they sat there and caught 25 big ones. And I was watching them, and they were like me. They were catching the little ones. You know what I'm saying? They was catching the little ones. Every once in a while, they'd get a good one. Look at the back of my head right there. You know what I'm saying? My wife said I look like Shrek. You guys think I look like Shrek with a hat on? I mean, from the back, she said, you look like that character Shrek. I'm thinking, okay, who's Shrek? So I looked him up. Shrek's a monster. I guess old Shrek here. But yeah. Then she says, I look from the front, I look like the fish man, you know, the guy that has with that beard coming down there. What's that guy? He has the fish sticks, advertises the fish sticks. Oh gosh, you know, Shrek and fish stick man, whatever. Well, you can see it's getting daylight a little bit now, and I'm thinking, okay, all right, I'm in a good spot right here. This was a good spot last year. Caught a lot of crappie right here, and caught some bass right here. I mean, I had some bass trips I set up right here and caught them, you know. So we'll see what happens. And oh goodness, you know, I caught some, but it wasn't a house on fire. But, you know, I was sitting there, and this old boy, I don't know his name, but he's a good fisherman, and he fishes all the time. And there's another guy right below him there fishes all the time. We were all lined up there we were about like 70, 100 yards apiece apart. Well, everybody went up the river this morning, come back down. They see he's sitting there. They thought we was tearing him up. So they'd pull in there beside us. Sorry, we weren't catching them either. They ran up the river and they weren't catching them. And they thought we was catching them. We wasn't catching them. You know, it's just, I don't know. It's just a tough year so far. You know, maybe February they'll turn on. Now, I remember one year they didn't really come in real good till March. I mean, March is when they really come into the river real good, and they started catching them out into the semi-grass. But like I said, I think the lake's below 13 foot now, and that might have a big bearing on it. I mean, they might not, you know, like I always said, when that water's dropping like that, if it was coming up, it'd be a different story. But when that water's dropping like that, I think they get into the survival mode. I think they really do. I think they get into the survival mode. I knew it wasn't going to make. I thought, well, I got a little action here. That's a good thing. Got me some action going on here. That's better than nothing, you know. And Rascal swallowed it, and but yeah, I popped him out. So had my trusty measuring stick. You know what I could do though? I don't like that old boy down there in Lakeport, down in Harney Pond. He took that and put epoxy in the bottom of it. Put about an inch epoxy in his measure, and see if I put an inch of epoxy in there, that one would have made. So I'm thinking about getting me some epoxy and putting it in the bottom of my measure, so it looks like it made. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, you know, if I can't, I'm struggling getting some fish, so if I have to, I might have to adjust my measurer. Okay, and I bring this one in. I thought, surely this will make. You know what I mean? I'll make 2 in a row. This will make. No, it didn't make either. I mean, that epoxy trick might work. You understand what I'm saying? There was an old boy got caught down there doing that. He had something in the bottom of his measure and give about an inch. And them young boys in that Game Awards, they got good eyeballs, guys. They'll eyeball that and see that. They nailed that guy. Look at here. Again, guys, with an inch of, an inch of epoxy at the bottom of that, that'd have been a legal one too. But anyhow, Yeah, at least I was catching a few fish. And it only lasted about, I don't know, a half hour at the most. I mean, it didn't even last that long. It just, I just got set up there. And as soon as that bright sun came out, that was the end of it. A buddy of mine's going down below the bridge there. He's got a generator. He's putting it at 3 o'clock, and he's fishing until 7 o'clock, and he puts it on the trailer. And after that, he's been catching them. But I don't want them that bad. I mean, if I can't catch them, I'm gonna go out there and sit all night and get them. But there's that first respond crappie tournament coming up here in February, and I always fish that when I'm down here. I was on the fire brigade for Union Carbide, and I thought, well, I'll go ahead and fish that thing. And before, I've always had some crappie, but I'll tell you what, this year I don't know if I'm going to fish it or not, because I can't even catch 7, even legal ones, let alone 10 pounds of them. Unless I figure out something. I mean, I've got some ideas I'm going to do after. And that's what I like about fishing. I mean, I don't care what kind of fish you are. If you're not catching them and there's fish there, there's some way of catching them. I mean, if you can just figure out how to do it, there's a way of catching them. You know what I'm saying? You just, if you got to get it down there in front of them. I mean, they just, I don't know if they go to deep water or they just clam up or what, you know what I'm saying? But the water's cold. I mean, we've had some pretty good cold fronts. But usually, I don't know, that don't affect panfish too much, perch and bass, or not bass, but crappie and bluegill and stuff like that. But it does affect them down here in Florida, South Florida, it seems like it. That really does. I mean, I got the old harvester out there. I mean, I think I had 10 poles out this morning. I was into the old harvester mood this morning. Still didn't do me no good. If I'd have had 50 poles out, it wouldn't have done me no good. I thought, well, I'll just put all these poles out here and see if I can get 6 or 7. It didn't happen, guys. It just didn't happen. I'm going around saying, yep, got her covered. I'm going to get them now. And I can't blame it on the bait. Had some real good bait there at Gerard's Tackle. The bait was really good, so, we got some action up here. Here we go. Our first keeper, guys. The first keeper. A good one. Fish on, my man. Fish on. Caught it on a float, and the rest of them don't have floats on them. I had put a couple out there with floats on them, and so let's see what this baby is. Oh yeah. Oh no, it didn't make. Daggone, I thought it did. Like I said, that inch in the bottom. That's four I threw back. I thought I threw 3, but I threw 5 back. So I caught 8 fish this morning. Okay. I'm cheating myself. I caught 8 crappie this morning, caught 3 keepers. That's what it was. So, yeah. At this point, I'm thinking, is this going to be one of them days where I'm never going to even catch it? I'm going to catch a keeper. Finally, I seen the pole on the right there bend down and pulled in a pretty nice one, about 12 inches long. And then I caught another one about 11 inches long. Then I caught one about 10.5 inches long, and that was this one here it's a pretty nice one right here. Didn't have to measure this baby. He was a good one. I'll tell you, even the ones sometimes that are just 10 inches long and they just there's not much meat on them. You know what I mean? Until they get up about 11.5 inches, then they got a little bit of meat on them, and there's no really sense of keeping them. So yeah, see, that was a daddy there. If you get 6 or 7 like that, yeah, that's, dozen fillets, that's a pretty good meal. Yeah, whoa, hey, oh, sober up there, big boy. I about went backwards in here. About ran into the trees this morning, about fell in, and oh well. Fishing's fishing, guys. I just like to fish. Is that one or two keepers? I can't remember now. But I think maybe that's two keepers I caught this morning so far. But I ended up with 3. And like I said, I threw them back. But man, you know what? If I'm only getting 3, I better throw these back and let them multiply a little bit. I seen them going up the river yesterday morning. They had the generator on, had the shockers out, and they looked like they was shocking up some fish, trying to figure out what's going on. But I've been down to Indian Prairie, been down to Harney Pond, and where I always caught them. Then I went down to Sportsman's the other day where I was catching them this summer, and it just wasn't happening, guys. Just wasn't happening. Now, see, I stepped on this one right here, and it made. I stepped on it, it made. It just barely made. I'm thinking, well, if I get 6, I'll make a mess right there. But I thought, nah. I like my little John boat, guys. It's a Grizzly. It's a duck boat's what it is, the old duck boat that guys buy for duck hunting. And I bought it off a guy that was a duck hunter. And like I said, I rent it out if you want to go fishing in it. And I supply the poles and the bait and the tackle, hooks, lines, sinkers, whatever, so. Well, at this point, I'm just not catching a lot of fish here, and I'm thinking, well, you know what? I think I'll just pull the anchor and push a little bit. You know what I mean? And with pushing, I mean just move around a little bit and just ease up the river. And you want to go real slow. You want to I got some heavy weights on there. I got about 3/4 of an ounce on there. That'll keep my lines down. And I did end up catching one keeper doing that. And I caught one short doing it, but that's a good way to get them too. But it's hard to do it in that duck boat right there. But you got a bigger boat, you can sit up there and put your poles way ahead of you and just take your time and ease around. And that's a productive way of catching them too. But you can see I'm just barely moving. And really you want to kind of just like touch on bottom every once in a while with that weight, just kind of touch it and keep in contact with the bottom. Now you don't want to drag it, but you want to just kind of touch it a little bit, so. I think that's a keeper there. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it is. I think that's a keeper. I'm just easing around. You can see my electric motor. I got it on 1, just barely crawling up through there. It's kind of like trolling, only really slower than trolling. You go 0.4, 0.5, just enough to move. You get your electric motor if it'll go down that slow. If you got a bigger boat and you got power poles, you put them power poles down, and that'll slow you down too. So, but yeah, that's a good one there, and that's pretty well it for the morning. You know what I'm saying? I did catch it down through here. I did after the sun got up real bright. I caught another short fish, but that's about it. Most exciting thing happened this morning is I run into a tree. At least I didn't run into somebody. I just ran into a tree. I've run into trees before, I remember I ran into a bee's nest there a couple years ago, early in the morning going down through there. Got turned around somehow and ran into the trees, and there was a wasp nest in there. And boy, if that didn't wake you up the first thing in the morning. But yeah, I started heating up. I shed my shirt, coat. At this point, I'm thinking, you know what? I've just about had enough. It's about 10:30, 9:30, 10 o'clock, 10:30, right around here somewhere, I think. And I hooked a little one and brought it in. And I thought, okay, this is enough. This is enough of this, So Yeah, it might be 40 degrees, but then afterwards, it'll get up to 80 in the afternoons. I mean, it's yeah, I'm debating right there.
Well, guys, I went out speck fishing this morning. My speck fishing was about like my bass fishing yesterday. I caught 5 this morning, and I only caught 3 keepers, and the other 2 were short fish, but I'm gonna let these old boys go. Let these old boys go. I got one real nice one. One pretty nice one. Right there, and I got these other 2 are just nothing to brag about. They're just keepers, you know. Just keepers. But it was fun. It's a nice day, and I was using minis today. I was pushing and sitting, and I didn't troll this morning because I was talking to the other guys. I think Bob got 4 yesterday trolling, and Danny got 12 yesterday trolling all morning, and I thought I'll just sit and mini, which is pretty good. But I was running in the fog this morning. Boy, it was interesting this morning. I hope I got it on video. I ran into the bank. I was going around in circles. I thought I was going up the river, and then I turned around. I was back at the ramp, back to the marina. Don't run in the fog, guys. Don't run in the fog. But anyway, yeah. Okay, guys, there you go. Oh my goodness, that's the prize today. Crappie fishing just ain't like it was last year. I mean, we go out here and get a limit no time. Not this year. It's just off and on, but it'll get better. It'll get better as we go, you know. Alrighty, over and out. Hope you enjoyed the video. I mean, it was pretty interesting this morning in the fall. But I thought I was running along the bank, but I wasn't. I had 4 lights on. Still got turned around.